I was watching I posted on Twitter. It's from a few years back when they did There Will Be Blood. But there's a Q&A series of videos called 92Y, which is where they screen movies and then they have a Q&A with the filmmakers afterwards. It's like a cultural event. And one of them was There Will Be Blood with Paul Thomas Anderson and Daniel Day-Lewis. And Daniel Day-Lewis was saying, at first I thought, oh my God, he's going to be so awkward and inarticulate. But he was saying things that made so much sense and elucidated his process in a very visceral way. Because he was saying, look, you're asking me about the choices that I make, and I'm not trying to evade it, but I don't make choices. Like, they have to actually happen or manifest themselves from the process of preparing, or it feels like something I'm imposing on it. I mean, that would be a choice. What I do is I just kind of channel it or let it I mean, he said it in a different way, but in a way that I completely understood. And he said, I don't act more often because I value the process too much. So if I don't find something, if I feel like I'm empty, or if I don't find something that I can speak through, then, you know, I'll be a cobbler, or I'll do whatever in my spare time. I don't have to do this all the time. I love it a lot, and that's why I'm so selective about when I do it.
I love that about him.
Yeah, I mean, that's really... Can I ask them? And if I asked this before, you can edit it out. But he's won 3 Oscars now. He's won 3 Best Acting Oscars. When do we get to say that he's one of the greatest actors of all time? I don't feel that we don't make a big deal about him enough. I mean, he is an incredible actor. And I just
the longer he waits in between projects, I feel like the greater he becomes.
I agree, Dean. I agree 100% with that. I mean,
because when he is throwing in on something, he gives 1,000%, like 10,000%.
Right.
And it's got to be something. It's going to be something that you've got to see.
Well, and look on the flip side of this, because one of the widely regarded best actors of all time is Robert De Niro. And by him doing 3 movies a year, he is tarnishing that reputation.
Oh, he
is.
Wouldn't you say that kind of begins with the adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle? Was like the first warning sign that, oh my God, we got a problem. Houston, we have a problem. I mean, it began with Analyze This. Okay, no, I'll give you that. I would definitely give you that. I mean,
because I feel like because up to that point, I forget what year Analyze This was, but
99. A year before Rocky and Bullwinkle. So we're thinking around the same time.
That was the year of Flawless as well. So
yeah.
But to me, he was working at a very high level up until the mid '90s. I mean, he had Casino and Heat in 1 year.
Yeah.
So people forget that he was still doing great stuff up until the mid '90s.
And then The Fan.
Yeah, and then ever since The Fan, he's there's always been iffy things in his career. You go back to the '80s and you'll see some not so great titles in there as well.
Falling in Love.
But, yeah. I like Stanley and Iris, but that's a lesser movie of his.
True.
Or Jackknife,
I like Jackknife.
Again, these are not bad movies; they're just lesser known.
There's another way to look at it. There's another way to look at it, though. I mean, from his perspective, all he would probably say, all I ever wanted to be was a working actor. I have no responsibility to keep up this greatest actor that ever lived title. That's a cross to bear that I never wanted. So I am working as an actor. I'm doing exactly what I always set out to do. I have no responsibility to do less because it makes someone else think that my legacy, I'll determine my legacy. Thank you very much.
Right.
But then again, my question is, how much money do you need? And what...
I don't think it's a question of money. I think if you're good at something, do it. That's your job. I mean, I go to my job 5 days a week.
But there's something to be said. There's something to be said for taste. I mean, each one of these actors, every actor, is their own business. They're running their own small business.
Right.
Their small business is them. Okay. Why produce shit that you know is shit going in? I mean, there's absolutely, of course, now the thing can be said, you can never tell what a good movie's going to be, but generally, I think you could probably tell that movie that he did with John Travolta was going to be a bad movie no matter what. Why do those movies?
Because he's got nothing more to prove. But he's at a stage where he's either an actor or he's not. This is what he does. Why not do it? But I think the difference is...
but if he's... but here's another question. How come he's not... If he's all about acting, how come he doesn't do anything on stage, never does any stage work, only ever done one play in his entire life, and he doesn't do any television? He's about to do his first TV thing where he plays Bernie Madoff, but he doesn't do any TV either. So, what's the deal with that?
We need to bring Sean Levy on the show. He wrote a book about him a couple of years ago. We need to ask Sean Levy these questions.
Yeah, because if it's all about acting, it doesn't seem like he...
Can I ask a question? What's the movie with Travolta?
Killing whatever. It's the one that came direct to on demand.
Oh,
Killing Time.
Okay. Oh, shit. Okay.
Killing Time. That's what you'll be doing while you're watching the movie. But
I didn't know. Okay, yeah, I forgot all about that one. Oh, my God.
But, I mean, some of the horror movies he could always, it seems like he could always be doing something better. If it's all just about acting and it's not about the money and it's not, why isn't he doing other stuff? Why isn't he doing plays and television, where some of the good stuff is happening?
Because he's a movie actor. That's his
TV.
stock and trade.
I mean, it's the same thing. So, I mean, I don't understand. He could have been the lead in, if he chose to, he could have been the lead in The Sopranos if he wanted.
And people would have said, why is he in a TV series, for God's sake?
Yeah, they would have loved him being in that TV series, and he would have been great in it.
I think he would have overpowered the role. I think that's
I think
if you're talking about Gandolfini. Yeah.
And I love Gandolfini, obviously, and I wouldn't want him replaced, but just I'm just spitballing here and just trying to figure out
it's
exactly.
It's an interesting theory, but a big part of the appeal of The Sopranos are those characters riffing on Pacino and De Niro. So you can't actually have Pacino and De Niro in there.
I agree to a certain extent. I don't know if they really talk about De Niro very much in it, although they do have they do have a couple of Raging Bull jokes I remember. But that's true.
I mean, I see both sides of it, but what I'm missing is, I mean, it's a conversation we've had many times about when these actors lose their hunger, and it just becomes, it's who they are, so it's almost like punching a clock, so they're going to do it. It's like, this is what I was put on earth to do, it's what I know, so I'm going to keep doing it. Because if you think early on in their career, I'm thinking De Niro and Nicholson specifically, I mean, they would work with the best American directors, and then they go off to another country and work with Leone or Antonioni or and people that were calling upon something different from them. I don't know if there are any directors that grew up watching these people that actually have enough chutzpah to demand something else of them.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know. I mean, I really don't know.
And here's another question. Okay, so we remember those times when Nicholson went to work with Antonioni, or De Niro went to work with Bertolucci. How come they don't do that? How come he doesn't do any of that anymore? How come you don't see him in something by, I don't know, Michael Haneke or something?
There might not be something there. I mean, we have to take that in consideration too. There may not be something there.
Well, you know,
Michael Haneke might not want him.
Yeah, I mean, Michael Haneke has made I don't know. That's a very good point. I mean, they might, there's nothing. They might not want to work with these guys.
I don't know. I just, if I were an actor, I would always search for the really good stuff, and I wouldn't do anything else. And unless it was a question of money, like I need the money because my wife is eating my ass out for a new fur coat or whatever.
I thought you were going to say she was a motorboater. I thought you were going to say something, tossing a salad or something. But okay, the way you said that, Dean.
I didn't know De Niro was into that.
I didn't know either.
Let's don't start any rumors now. But I would not do stuff that I thought was bad stuff. I just wouldn't do it. I'd just be waiting around for the good stuff.
I mean, De Niro is a brand, but in more ways than just acting. I mean, he started the film festival. He has restaurants that he owns, and he's diversified his interests a great deal.
Right. Yeah, he owns quite a bit of land, in Tribeca. So, I mean, I don't know. I'd just concentrate on that shit and just do the good stuff.
But but then you have somebody like Gene Hackman, who made so many mediocre movies, but he's undeniably one of the greatest actors ever. I mean, I don't feel like his reputation has been tarnished. He was a working actor. He wanted to work as much as possible.
That's a good point. And typically in his movies, he's usually one of the best things about the movies that he's in. So, I mean, you could say that also about like Paul Newman, for instance. Who also didn't always do great stuff, but
right.
So I don't know. I just feel like these days De Niro is making more bad choices that are hurting his brand than are helping his brand.
Yeah.
And I really don't understand that. I don't understand that.
I also think he got into a thing when Analyze This was a big hit, but especially Meet the Parents. He found himself with this renewed popularity with the masses, and he thought, man, I guess I should capitalize on this and do more disposable comedies.
I don't know why he would care about being popular. I mean,
I remember Midnight Run, and everybody says De Niro was playing a comical role, and it was shocking. It was like, let's see this tour de force comedy performance from De Niro. It was a big deal, and it was a really good movie.
Yeah,
that was superb.
I mean, I won't deny he's been, in his comedy acting, there have been effective performances, and I would include Analyze This in that category. And also, of course, Silver Linings Playbook.
I mean, basically all the David O. Russell's, Silver Linings Playbook, American Hustle, even Joy for that matter. I mean, when finding the right director, I mean, he does do good work. I mean, he does bring it in for this David O. Russell. He's definitely brought it in.
Yeah, I mean, I even like Everybody's Fine.
Mhm. I do too.
Yeah,
I like him in it.
Yeah. Yeah, he's good in it. Maybe not in the movie, but yeah.
He's even good in The
what was
Intern. The Intern he's good in. I mean, let's not rule that out. I mean, that's actually a decent movie. I mean, Nancy Meyer's movie.
Oh,
but he's
right.
actually
Deep doesn't like that movie. Deep thinks that movie is like a fragrant fart or something.
It is.
Okay.
That's exactly what it's like. It's like a slightly smudged piece of toilet paper blowing in the wind.
I'm just trying to look forward to my old age, Dean. Okay, I'm just trying to get the best out of I can if I make it that far.